Yo, what up guys? It's time for another Nades for Noobs. Now, if you haven't watched the series before, or if you're new to the series, or even if you have, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you Nades on the CT side of Inferno. But what's going to be a little different for those of you who have watched previous episodes is I'm going to keep sprinkling in flashes, nades, and Molotovs as well. Just because, I've done it a couple times as like bonus nades, but I think, why not just include those? So the key here with this series is that I want to show you guys some basic things on each side of each map so that you could go and use these when you play a pickup game. It started because when I was doing viewer games on my stream, which I still do occasionally, I would say, hey, can you throw this smoke or this nade? No one knows any. So my goal is that you could play with me or any average or above average player and know some basic nades. All right. Enough talking. I'm going to break it down like this. First, we're going to do B nades for early round and then late round, and then A nades for early round and late round. And what I mean by late round is like retake, essentially. So first things first, smokes at B, the basic smokes you should know is a deep banana smoke, which goes like this, and it goes to the bottom of B. Now, the key with this nade is you want to make sure you throw it hard enough so it banks. There will occasionally be a little bit of a gap for the guys close, but this is good enough. And two, when you throw it, make sure you don't throw it too far to the left like this, because it'll hit the doorway and stop. That sucks because if the T's want to come through it, it's a lot easier for them to bust through the smoke and harder for you to hold, right? If you're this guy at the top, you have to worry about them coming through both edges, whereas if it's deep, super easy to see them come through. Makes a world of difference. All right, next smoke, car smoke. You can obviously just smoke it on the fly right here. But the other way I like to throw it, this is with a classic view model, so view model preset POS 3. I put my pin right here with my nade of my crosshair, or my nade, the pin of my grenade, jeez. And release, right? So this is a good one. It's kind of prevents the boost from happening too much right here. They can kind of do it still. Gives you like a nice little gap on the right. I like this one's deep. You could find your own lineup, so that's that. Flashes, two main flashes that people want. The first one is called a Coffin Flash, because you're on the coffin. This is a really good one for just a bait setup, and it's a really good way to get one kill if the team is playing a little loose. You have one guy set up closer here. Ideally, you could use it without this. And there's one flash right here. Aim at the antenna in the center. You could aim at the right or the left. The center is what most people use. It's a nice pop flash for someone holding here, especially if someone's walking up. The common play is like if the terrorist Molotov here and you hear him kind of run up, if you're at the corner, you'll say flash, flash, It's not exactly flash, flash. and you'll peek with it and get the kills, all right? Molotovs, the two main Molotovs you want to throw are the close and deep Molotovs is what we call them. So normally when you're playing B with someone and say, hey, I want to do a banana control with Molotovs, they say, yeah, are you throwing close or far? So the close one is like this. The close one, you're just running up, you just throw it off the wall. A good place to aim is probably just this shadow. Stops them from running up, obviously. Good close one. The second one, the way I throw it is I come here and I duck and I just aim at this gray part of this part of the wall. You throw it right there. If you're too far out, it's not good because it doesn't get this corner. And this corner is a really dangerous one because a lot of times if Molotovs stand here, they can stay alive here. And what a common play is for terrorists now is they smoke this out anyways. But if you could like throw that first one and then maybe you'll throw a flash, which I'll show you in a second, and then they'll blind, they'll go to this corner and the other Molotov lands, you could do 30, 40 damage to them before they get the smoke off or whatever, right? And then the next thing I'm going to show you is some good nades for bananas. So you have those two Molotovs. All right, I'll just use a flash to show you. But a good grenade, not flash, a good grenade is called the Astralis grenade. It's for that corner. The way to throw it is you throw it off this thing that kicks to the left, and it is a killer nade if they're sitting in this corner. It does a lot of damage. So the way you line it up is you see the fence. It's super easy. Literally to the left of the end of this fence, and you just aim, and it banks off that. It's a really good nade to know. So what I'll do a lot of times is I'll do a Molotov here with somebody, and I'll say, all right, you Molotov far, and then let's double nade after a second. And we'll hold our guns out to make sure they're not pushing, and then we'll double nade the Astralis nade into the corner and kill someone. And especially if they put out this Molotov or the smoke, the other option obviously is a double nade into logs, because that's a common place for people to move, because they like to move with the smoke and then they jump up here and try to like see over it, right? Always be aware of that. If they smoke it out, that they might jump up. Oh, one more flash for banana aside from the Coffin Flash is this flash. It's called the car flash. So you just duck here and just throw it into the opening of the sky right here. And this flash is really good because it's hard for the terrorists to see coming, and it'll hit people all the way to the bottom of banana. The way you time it is the front guy, you throw it when he gets right here. So he'll say, all right, throw the flash in the air, and it pops, and it doesn't blind him. So you want it to pop when he's like right here swinging. Get a free kill, fall back, throw your smoke. There's one more way to throw a smoke, by the way. Sometimes I'll set up that bottom B smoke like this because I'm not as susceptible. I put my pin in the white part right there. I'm not as susceptible as the terrorists running up here. At least some terrorists like to come nade it. So this does two things. You avoid nades, like HEs, by throwing the smoke from back here. And then two, if they are rushing, which means your smoke is useless anyways, right? If you try to run here and throw a smoke and they're rushing, you're gonna fight them here anyways. And if they trade you, they're getting in the site. If they're rushing anyways, and your first spawn comes here and like nades and says, Flash, we're rushing through. You could then cancel the smoke and either do something like this and just throw a shallow smoke, you know? A little better than that. Or you could throw a flash, but either way, you're not wasting the smoke. So it's just good to know the one from here. You just line up the wall, pin in the white. Now, retake nades for banana. Smokes, the only real smoke that I say is super key for the B retake. It's a jump throw. If you don't know how to do jump throw binds, well, I'll just type it in right now. That's my bind for jump throw. Exactly that. You could replace N with whatever you want. You come in the same corner as the car smoke. You aim your crosshair at the corner of this roof, the apex, and you jump throw. This is a smoke for banana that is perfect for retakes because if they plant right here, a lot of times one or two guys will play banana. If you're watching the major right now, you'll see a ton of teams show this one on the retake. Then retake flashes and molotovs and nades. So two good flashes to know are just like, if you're ever retaking and this is smoked, obviously they could be on top of the first oranges peeking over this smoke, right? A lot of times people play up there with a sniper. So just like either a flash that is like this before you peek and then you can cross with it is good because sometimes even nowadays people stand on the fountain and try to peek over it, right? They'll stand over it. You just throw one over the corner before you come. And then another good one is just right here. If you're late to the retake and your team's behind the smoke and spawn, just say flashing right or left of water. Flashing right side water, and boom. And they can come through with it, and that's always a good flash to have people come through the smoke because it'll blind people holding both sides. The shallower you throw it, the better it's going to be for like this angle, right? So you could try to throw it like, if you really want to get fancy, you could try to say one of those might be the best technically, right? Up to you. And then the backhaul flash right here is like this. This is really an underused one. If your team is coming here and you think there's like a sniper posted here or here or here, one of those angles, you don't have a Molotov to flush them out, like obviously like you could just throw a deep flash like to the right over this. If there's a smoke up, sometimes even just getting in the smoke and throwing one over there is good because it'll blind people peeking. But I like this one for my teams coming through backhaul. Sometimes I'll just throw like a lob up there to the right, and that one's good because it hits this guy in the corner, hits this guy, and all these guys, and your teammate can peek with it, which is why I like it too if he really wants to. All right, so the two big Molotovs for retaking banana, these are really important. All right, for triple box and for emo or dark corner, whatever you guys call it. We call it emo or dark. So this is smoked out. Let's say the big Molotovs that I throw are triple. So I come to this wall, I step out a little bit just so, because I'm going to throw it at this antenna, I'm going to walk throw it at the right side. So you have to step out so you don't hit the bench, right? So you have to just step out. I just walk throw at the right side of the antenna, and that's good for behind the triple. Fully spreads, pushes him out, gets him out here a little bit, force him here. You know, you could probably just do like a run throw if you wanted to, just like one step. Goes a little deeper, it's essentially the same thing. And then for emo, I think it's like this. I might have to try it once. I didn't do it before this video. Come in this corner. I think I aim up to this, and then I release when I hit it again. So I aim here, run, jump throw when I hit it. That might be it. Yep, okay, there you go. So that's a good Molotov for the back corner. Those two Molotovs, and then the key is having a good flash right as the Molotov's release. So whether you're this guy here and you're holding, maybe not here because if there's a guy here, he could swing on you when you flash. But you know, if you've already cleared this corner and those Molotovs are coming and you just know that they're holding for you, throwing a good flash over like a back step or having your team, like if you're hiding back here, having your team flash in the site while you throw those Molotovs is going to make people either be in the middle of the open blind or they're going to be tanking Molotovs blind. All right, let's move over to A. Pretty straightforward over here at A. When you're at mid, you are throwing generally these smokes most of the time, right? Can't really mess these up unless somehow you throw a smoke that lands too far on one side of the wall. So try to never throw one that like barely kicks like that. Even that works actually, but sometimes occasionally when you throw one that's like one side, right, big gap, that's a big stupid no-no. You want to have a flush smoke, and you don't want to throw it right away. I see a lot of amateurs and pugs right when they get to middle, they just throw a smoke right here. If they're rushing, sure you could smoke it, but even then, if they're rushing, either use a Molotov or, you know, just play the crossfire. Now, yes, a smoke right away if you really have like a shit ton of money is fine, but then you're not playing the round really smart. You want to save the smoke generally for 15-20 seconds, spot middle. If you're worried about having op, that's why you generally play an op around the arch side because he could just post up and not waste the smoke. It's a good play, but I digress. That's strategy talk. I'll show you another good smoke for mid early, because we're talking about early round nades. Right here, you just throw smoke on the flowers while you're running. That puts out this Molotov that people throw, right? So So it's a good play if you're an opera. I see you'll see Kenny S do this. So throw that smoke. I'll run up here in the beginning of the round. Boom, take an op pick, jump away. Risky play, obviously, but it works out. It's good to know. The other way I know how to smoke middle, and there's probably multiple ways to do it, is from left side of big pit here. You could probably do it from right. I've just never found it. 2 ways to re-smoke mid late. This is really nice so that if they are like, if you're not sure if they're posted up right here, you could use these smokes on a mid retake because you'll smoke off mid and you'll push them to either come forward or fall back. And if they're up forward, very easy to flash them. First smoke in this corner, black part of the wall, and then you see this little like chicken foot right here, this 3-prong thing. I go from the black part of the wall past the middle part of this little 3-prong thing, past the middle line. So I just go here and then a little higher, right about there, while I'm ducking. I throw this one. That one lands in the middle of mid, and then I have one more I haven't thrown in a while. It's in the middle of this wall. I think it's 1, 2, 3. I think it's right to the left of the 4th one, and I don't know if you need to be ducking. I just do that one standing. Let's see how it works. Okay. That one works pretty much as well too, because even though there's a little gap, you just got to be aware of it. And this smoke is really nice, guys, because what I like to do on like pro teams is we'll do something like a late mid retake. So the terrace will take mid. We'll just start double big pit, 1 arch side passive, and we'll just be holding angles like this, right? And then if they take middle, maybe we'll throw a Molotov to stealth them, and then we'll come here. Once we know they're up middle, boom, we'll throw this smoke. My guy might throw another big Molotov deep here so I could swing, and then a flash like this. You get in this corner and aim at the top of the roof, and he'll throw that flash while like I'm creeping up, and that'll blind them mid, and I'll be able to re-clear middle and push them off middle. And the reason this is powerful is because if it's late in the round, you push them off middle after they took it, maybe even get a kill, and then they're now 45 seconds left in the round or something, and you know, the later the round is easier to read that where they're going because they have to make more noise, etc. Right. The last smoke for passive that is a really good one that people should know is in the big pit. So you throw this smoke here, maybe you throw it a little right. That's really good because you can jump up on the bike and you get little one-ways of them moving into the site right here. And you get, obviously, easy one-way up to people in halls. And I'm pretty sure it is to the left, so I don't know. I guess you can molly it, and I didn't realize. I think it's because a lot of people throw it, and then come here and they throw it like this. So maybe a lot of pro teams are just making a mistake. But I guess you should start mulling there, because I bet if that molly went off, yeah, you would hit this guy. Huh, so good to know. So you could actually molly there with it. But anyways, it's a good smoke to know regardless, because even if they do throw that molly and it pushes you off it, first of all, you get this angle, so you can peek while they throw the molly right away. Kill one, and even if the molly goes off, it gives you protection to work out wide here, even if that molly's up. Maybe even isolate this angle and then get people running into the pit. Keep in mind, people stand on this angle, so be aware of it. And so that's that for early A smokes and nades, and then flashes. So 2 good flashes I like to throw a lot of mid. Obvious one for alt mid. And then for mid peaks, double click flash. You sit on the corner, aim at the corner of this roof, release. And oh, that's a good thing that I missed right there, because what you do is you hit right click first. Even though it's a middle click, the distances vary based on whether you click left click or right click first. So if I do left click first, see how that went farther? Right click first, it'll be a little different. See how that went a little, sank a little lower? So the way you release the nades off of the both double click gets complicated. So when you do this nade, just hold right click, then left click, release together. It's a good pop flash to throw, have a teammate waiting right here, boom, they peek with it. Last one you should know for A guys, called the Halls pop flash. I generally throw it off this corner, aim at the roof. You go a little higher than the roof. There you go. And that'll blind people. It looks like it's behind the corner, but it'll actually hit people right here because the corner kind of blocks it. Yeah, the pop flash right there hits it all, and it's really good. And you could always go double check these things, right, guys? If you need to move up to the arrow and aim at the roof, maybe that's the move, right? And make sure you throw it in the doorway, actually, right? But always go practice these nades when I show you them to make sure that you're comfortable throwing the nades. Good. All right, last but not least to end this video, guys, A retake nades. Couple good smokes to know. All right, so when you're retaking, you want to realize that the places people most commonly play are, we call this cold zero spot, play on the ground of it right here or back here, or they play big pit, or they play mini pit, right, ducking under here. So some of the smokes that are good, you can't block out everything. Don't try to always do that. If you have a god retake to molly and smoke everything, that's great. One good smoke that a lot of pros have been using lately is like they'll come out of library. We'll throw a smoke like this. They'll have like a guy flash sight. But what you can do yourself is you can just throw that smoke, peek this, and if you don't see anyone, you can just kind of work in the sight like this. And this is really good because at least it gives you like a one-on-one here, which is more than you normally could ask for retaking A. But then you could jump up on the bike in the smoke, and if you throw it even a little deeper, you know, if you peek this, you don't see anyone. You throw this smoke. You can even throw it when you're already out here if you want to peek, like, and be ballsy. But it's really good. You can jump up with this, and that's a nice retake smoke to work with. And then, you know, so say if you kill a sight guy here, now that guy can't just swing and trade, and you can jump up or isolate Hall's guy, clear porch first, and then check down here, right? Then obviously if you have more nades, and you have teammates who are going to retake with you, which is what we don't always ask for in matchmaking, or which we can't always expect in matchmaking, rather. So a good Molotov or smoke is this one. So Molotoving Big Pit is like this. You throw it off the corner. A lot of people don't know this. You just throw it off the cubby. It's a really nice Molotov. You can also throw a smoke right there. The reason a smoke is really good right there, it forces people like that, and it blocks people from being able to peek your porch, guys, and forces them to play this angle, which makes it a lot easier for your teammates to retake up this side. And then that way, if they really want to, they could do something like this where they like flash big pit and then peek sight, you know? So then, because they know this is the only angle they can hold, this guy's gonna dodge this flash, they can peek sight and have their teammate behind them hold this while they peek sight. Boom, we just planned a retake, right? So knowing these nades is gonna help you do that. So I showed you this Molotov. Obviously sight Molotovs, I come here, I aim a little above the pipe. So what you do is you can go at that thing, to the right of the thing, and find whatever ones you like. That one pushes out the middle pillar. There is one, I think, here that I know for mid-sight box. Like that. Okay, so this one's alright for pushing people out of the close corner, but there's one that'll get all these corners, and I probably should have went over this one, but since it's mostly a smoke and flash video, you guys can go find that Molotov yourself. And last but not least, flashes for retakes, guys. A really good flash, especially if your teammate's making this play where they smoke this out, is as they're coming into bomb site, simply flash above them to the left, or in graveyard, while they go with it, because it blinds people holding in the sight angles right here. All these angles, obviously if they're holding like perfectly, maybe it won't, but here, up on the box, it blinds them, short it blinds them, mini pit it blinds them. So those are really good simple flashes to know that'll help you. There is a lot more nades you could throw, and actually what I'm thinking of on the fly that I should have shown on T side is in this corner. You stand here and you jump throw, aiming at the top of the antenna. I was actually thinking of this when I was planning my smokes for this video. There's a lot more nades you can find, guys, by practicing and watching games. So do a little bit more research yourself, guys. Take that one as a little bonus smoke to go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and of course, if you want to add any smokes, just type them out in the comments and let people know different smokes you can throw. Maybe you can post a screenshot. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next map.